Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another One Piece video. Today we have something pretty crazy to talk about, but you guys might notice I'm a little bit spiffied up right now, and that's because I'm actually just walking out my door to go to my brother's high school graduation. So if you guys want to wish him congratulations, that would be really cool down in the comments. But yeah, before I go there, I wanted to just get this off my chest because this is something that I find to be very, very crazy, and a lot of different people in the community have very different opinions on this. But today we're talking about how One Piece, the trading card game, in set 1 has, at the very least, like, took the community to a really big shock, right? Like, some people are jarred. Like, I think this is a really crazy move, I can't lie to you guys, but I mean, we'll talk about that in the video. So if you're new here, make sure to subscribe, hit that bell so you never miss a video, and if you guys want to help support the channel, many ways down in the description you can do so. As always, if you guys want more One Piece content, let me know. I'll be covering more spoilers as we get more, like, you know, full starter deck reveals, full set reveals, stuff like that, because I do enjoy the game. Still primarily a Dragon Ball channel, but I think, you know, the more One Piece grows and the more I get into One Piece, that could always change. Not saying I won't be a Dragon Ball channel, I'll always be a Dragon Ball channel, but I'm saying, like, the quality and the frequency at which I upload One Piece content. But yeah, I wanted to talk about today's topic quite a bit, so let's talk about it. We are talking about the fact that in set 1, One Piece is implementing a multicolor leader. This is absolutely insane. Let's read the effect first, and I'll talk about why it's so crazy. So this is a Luffy leader. This is coming out in set 1 from the looks of it. Life 4, 5,000 power, so typical power level of the other leaders we've seen, but it's got 4 life to start. So it's a supernova / straw hat crew, main once per turn, pay 4, rest designated number of dawn in the cost area, change one of your cost 5 or lower supernovas or straw hat crew characters to active and give that character plus 1,000 power this turn. Okay, that's the effect. On the face of it, pretty solid. Pay 4, restand a guy. Now, that's probably going to involve one of your characters living a turn, or at the very least, you're going to have like 9 or 10 dawn, maybe play a 5 drop and then, or a 6 drop, and then pay 4 to restand it, swing again. And there's a pretty powerful card you can do this with that we'll talk about in a little bit. But just the fact this leader is multicolor in set 1 is crazy. In Dragon Ball Super, we didn't get multicolor leaders until after set 9, multicolor cards in the main deck until a while after that. I don't even know how multicolored cards in the main deck would work in this game, because with the current rule set, you can only include cards in your deck that are the same color as your leader. So I guess maybe if there were red-green cards in the main deck, maybe you could play those with either a red or a green leader. I'm not sure if it's like mutually beneficial that way. But the fact that we have a red-green leader, essentially, you know, from what we're taking it to mean, is that you can play red and green cards in your main deck, because again, the rule of the game is you can only play cards that correspond in color with your leader, right? So that's going to mean a lot for set 1 when there's such a limited card pool. Each color is going to have their staples. We're going to talk about that more in just a minute. But this leader is going to inherently get access to the best red and green staples because it's red and green, whereas the red Luffy leader can only play the best red cards, and the kid leader can only play the best green cards. This leader gets the best of both worlds. Now, we can obviously see that they're trying to balance that with the fact that your leader only starts at 4 life as opposed to 5. I really don't think that's that big of a downside, especially when you consider that with all the staples you'll get, again, having the best of both worlds being both colors, you're going to get access to the best defensive cards if you need to play them in order to counteract this this balance change, right? Like being a 4 life leader as opposed to a 5 life leader. Now, this is pretty interesting too. Notice in the bottom left corner, the color wheel on the leader, it highlights red and green, obviously. I didn't really understand why they introduced this color wheel when it's so obvious what color the leader is just by looking at the card, right? And I mean, maybe if they get fancier with artwork, maybe it's a little bit harder to tell what color the leader is or what color a card is. That definitely has happened in Dragon Ball Super, where some Super Saiyan Goku leaders look completely yellow, but they happen to be green, for example, right? So that makes sense. But that just kind of leads me to think that maybe we can even get, like, I don't know, tricolor leaders, quad color leaders. They can fill in as many of those, you know, pieces of the pie chart as they want, right? And then your leader would get access to all those different color cards. And of course, I'm sure they try to counterbalance it. Maybe you would start with, I don't know, 3 life or something like that. That could be kind of wild. But yeah, I think doing this set 1 is definitely very ballsy. I'm a little bit afraid to say it's going to be broken. I mean, maybe this 4 life counteraction is going to mean more than we think it will, but I'm just not seeing it. I mean, there is an aggressive deck already with a mono red Luffy deck that's definitely going to be an aggro deck, but I mean, just playing as Kaido, you start as 5 life. I'm just going off my experience from what I've played of One Piece so far, right? It's mostly been red Luffy versus purple Kaido. And yes, Luffy can be very aggressive, but you can stabilize pretty well with a lot of the removal that Kaido has in its deck, right? So I haven't seen all the green cards yet. None of us have. We've seen a lot of the red cards from the Luffy starter deck, where I'm not sure if green is going to be a removal type of color or what the theme of that color is going to be, right? But if you're able to stabilize well against aggression, it's not really going to matter that you start at 4 life, right? That's just my 2 cents on it. But now I want to go through some of the staples that this leader is theoretically going to be able to play because it's a multicolor leader, right? So here is a huge thing. There are, these cards in One Piece have counter power, right? And if you're from Dragon Ball, that's essentially the equivalent of combo power. So on the side of both of these cards, you have the fact that they counter for 2,000. Much like in Dragon Ball, you would see on the side value their combo power. In One Piece, it's called their counter power. So the standard from what we've seen for a lot of character cards is that they either don't have counter power or they have 1,000 counter power. In One Piece, there are a few cards in each color that have 2,000 counter power. It might even just be 1 card per color at this point. I'm sure in the future they'll print more, right? So 2,000 counter power seems to be a very high amount, and we haven't seen anything greater than that yet, I don't think. I don't think we've seen any 3,000 or 4,000 counter power. So this just reminds me completely of the super combo phenomena that took place in Dragon Ball Super, where in set 1 of the game, they printed these combo cards that say they start off with 0 base combo power, and then if you have 4 or less life, they combo for 10,000, which in Dragon Ball Super, you typically have to play 1 energy to combo for 10,000. These cards do it for 0 energy, and you also draw a card on top of that. So while these counters or combos, man, I really wish they were called combos because it would be so much simpler with an already established Bandai game. But these cards and their counter power, they're not as souped up to the fact that they draw you a card or they, get as high as 10,000 or even 5,000 or 4,000, whatever. But they're still more efficient at allowing you to defend your leader or your characters. So they are valuable and they are very powerful in that fact, right? So theoretically, Luffy is going to be able to play, the red-green Luffy is going to be able to play 8 2,000 counters if they want, as opposed to red Luffy or Kid or any other monocolor deck that can only play one play set of a 2k counter card, right? That's a very powerful defensive thing that this leader has going for it already. So again, like, we're already counteracting the fact that the leader starts at 4 life because we get to play cards with greater counter power if it makes sense to do so. That's kind of wild. And then we have event counters, right? So we have guard point for red, for example. Up to 1 of your leader or characters gain 3,000 power for this battle, and then trigger, so if it's hit out of your life, up to 1 of your leader cards or character cards gains plus 1,000 for the turn. That's very powerful in and of itself. I haven't seen the green counter. I'm not sure if it's been posted anywhere. There's not really a super concise place to find all the cards in a very easy manner, but regardless, you can imagine this deck is going to be able to get access once again to the best event counters for red and for green. So one thing I talked about in my last One Piece video was the fact that we have a lot of these event cards, like in the Kaido deck, for example, that cost 4 or cost 6, and they have decent effects. Like Brachio Bomber lets you remove most battle cards in the game just for the 6 cost, but that's a very expensive card that 1, doesn't establish any board presence for you, and 2, doesn't have any counter power because it's an event card, right? So over time, I definitely think that we're going to see more and more event cards get phased out as we just get better character cards in every color. But this leader seems like it starts from an advantage point right at the beginning of set 1, because you don't have to fluff your deck with really bad event cards that other decks might have to, just because of the sheer lack of cards in the card pool. This leader can just right off the rip play the best 4 counters in red and the best 4 counters in green, and then not have to worry about playing subpar event cards, right? And again, these cards being so good defensively counteract the fact that your leader starts at 4 life. So that's another point I wanted to bring up about this. And then finally, you get access to all the best character cards in both colors. That's kind of obvious, but I mean, just imagine like the flexibility you have in how you want to play the game, right? So for example, we have this 5 cost Luffy. That's a boss monster of the Luffy starter deck. It has Rush when you attach 2 Dons to it, and then you can possibly play other cards that let you attach Dons to this, because the red starter Luffy leader lets you put a Don under a character or leader card, but this multicolor leader obviously doesn't do that, right? So if you have other effects that put Dons under, or if you just have enough Dons in active mode, you can attach them to Luffy, give him Rush. If you have other cards that allow you to put Don under Luffy, then you can use your leader's ability to restand him for 4 energy. So on your 9 or 10 Dawn turn, you can play this guy, swing with Rush, and then use your leader to restand him and swing again, which seems kind of insane. Then we have Basil for green. I'm not sure if this is like the de facto green boss monster or anything, but this is one of the 5 costs in that color. So Dawn ×1 once per turn. During your turn, after this character battles an enemy character, activate this character. So you can swing at a character card, restand it, maybe swing at life, and then use leader effect. Well, this one I guess is not a supernova or a straw hat crew, so you couldn't restand it, but you get the point, right? Like, this leader is going to inherently get access to all the best cards in both colors, and that seems like a huge advantage once again at the beginning of a set, at the beginning of a game's life, where the card pool is going to be so limited, right? Like, I remember set 1, set 2 Dragon Ball Super, I really started playing in set 2, but still the card pool is so limited, and you can really feel that from a deck building perspective, that how hard it is to like fit the best cards in your deck. And we didn't get multicolor again until like I want to say set 6 or 7 in Dragon Ball Super. That was a good year or so into the game's lifespan. It's kind of wild that they're doing this in set 1 for One Piece. It's kind of crazy. But anyways, guys, that covers my thoughts on this topic. I just want to let you guys know this is kind of like a news video where we're just talking about the fact that they released a red-green leader or a multicolor leader for set 1. I'm sure there will be other multicolor leaders, and I would not be surprised if they're just the de facto best leaders of set 1. Like, again, you get access to the best cards in multiple colors while there's a very limited card pool. But anyways, guys, let me in the comments below what you think. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Yo, Dragon Ballers, quick break in the video to give a huge shout out to PPG, who is going above and beyond to make our organized play season the best that it can possibly be. I'm here on the PPG event management website. I'm going to link this down in the description, so all you have to do to sign up for any of these events is go down to that link. An event that I know for sure that I'll be attending is the Too Many Games convention in Philadelphia. This is actually a regional for the regular Dragon Ball Super organized play season. So again, guys, super huge shout out to PPG. Secondly, this website is so awesomely laid out. All you have to do is go to this website. All these different tabs here will take you to the events you want to sign up for. I hope to see you guys there. Let's get back into the video.